This is our last lesson in the Fierce Love, Rule-Breaking Kindness, and Transformative Courage series. And it is the first lesson of the brand new year. It's also a continuation of the Christmas story, which centers on the birth of the Christ child, the birth of the baby Jesus. When we began the Fierce Love series, I began seeking a working definition for the word love. I don't know if working definition is the right way to describe it, but I was looking for a definition of love which was different than what we are traditionally offered. Different from what we're offered in the church and different from what we've been offered by our culture. I don't know about you, but it seems to me that love is one of those words that we toss around frequently and lightly without fully understanding its meaning. So as I mentioned, I went out seeking clarity. And a definition which goes way beyond the current dictionary. A definition of love which should encourage me and guide me on my quest to love myself and to love my neighbor fiercely. Because I don't think that when Jesus gave that commandment to love neighbor, love self, he was using our current dictionary definition. I think Jesus understood love differently. The dictionary of our culture defines love as a profoundly tender, passionate affection. The dictionary definition includes strong references to love that is romantic and sexual. I don't think that's what Jesus had in mind at all. So as I mentioned, I went seeking, relying upon my belief that when I seek, I find. And find I did. When I learned that Bell Hooks had passed away mid-December 2021, I was reminded about one of the books she had written. All About Love is the title. So I picked it up and I began reading it again. And lo and behold, then the first few pages, she offers a definition of love. The kind of definition which makes a difference. In her book, she reminds us that love is a verb. It's not a noun. That's important. Love isn't a thing. Love is something we do. Bell Hooks goes on to describe love as the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or someone else's spiritual growth. Wow. That definition gives us a lot to work with. Love is a will. It's a choice. Love is a willingness to intentionally extend ourselves on purpose, for a purpose. The ultimate goal of love is to extend ourselves in order to nurture spiritual growth. Our own spiritual growth and the spiritual growth of our neighbors and others, our family, our friends. I wonder what the world would be like if that were our ultimate goal. I wonder what our church would be like if the objective was to love each other in a way that nurtures spiritual growth. I wonder how our decisions might be different if our objective was always spiritual growth for ourselves and for those we love. I have no intention of letting that definition go. My plan is to let it resurface again and again as we move through 2022 together. The definition is printed in your worship guide under the reflection section. I encourage you to wrestle with it. I encourage us to wrestle with it. Chew on it, let it sink in until it becomes part of the way we roll.